Welcome everyone. The agenda for today's session is going to how to consume a SOAP-based web service in Mule. So, and we are going to look at one of the feature which is offered by Mule that is called as transformation. So, as we all know, in our last session, we looked at what do you mean by SOAP-based web service and what it is taking as an input and what is the output that is going to generate, right? So typically all SOAP based web services are all SOAP services which are expecting XML as the input and in return which is going to generate the output in the form of an XML, right? So with the help of Mule, I am going to a client is not interested to send the data in the form of an XML because it is a huge payload. So my intention is to send two query parameters over HTTP using HTTP GET method, and I would like to still invoke a SOAP based web service. So, but as per the rule, SOAP service is always expecting an XML and it is returning an XML as the output. So here I'm taking the help from Mule, which is going to transform my HTTP GET request and it is going to get the data from my SOAP service and it is going to transform the data into a plain text, or I'm going to transform that into a JSON format, right? So in today's session, we are going to look at how we are going to consume a SOAP based web service. So I'm going to, for this example, I'm going to use a calculator web service. This is probably everybody might know. So this particular calculator web service is exposed four different operations called add, divide, multiply, and subtract. So add is always your add operation is expecting. This is the XML format that is expecting as an input. And if you send this XML input, it is going to generate the XML output like this. But my client is not interested in sending this huge XML payload. He's interested in sending XML. He's interested in sending normal query parameters, right? And we'll try to look at how we are going to send those values and how your Mule is going to read those query parameters and construct this SOAP payload. After receiving the response from my SOAP service, I don't want to display the entire XML payload as the response. I would like to extract only this particular portion. The final result I would like to display on the screen, right? So how we are going to transform that response as well. So let's quickly create a new Mule application. Go to File, New, create a Mule application. So I'm going to take the name as SOAP Consumer. Simply click Finish. So whenever we are dealing with HTTP GET request, or if you want to respond, if your Mule application want to respond to your HTTP request, then we are going to take a connector called HTTP listener. Simply drag and drop that HTTP listener, and we are going to provide the appropriate properties, right? Like base path, and path is the mandatory attributes when you are considering. Suppose example, for this particular example, I'm going to take the base path as SOAP, and path is going to my consumer, or add I can say, since I'm going to invoke add operation. So I'm taking the path as add. So in Mule is providing a connector called a web service consumer. Whenever you are trying to consume a SOAP based web service, then you are going to use this particular connector which is offered by your Mule. Simply drag and drop your web service consumer, and this particular web service consumer is also expecting some mandatory attributes. So just simply click on plus connector configuration, and it is expecting the WSDL URL. You are going to find this WSDL URL for this example is your service description. So copy the link of your service description and put it here. So as and when you put the WSDL location, automatically the service port number or the address, the values will be populated automatically. It is taking some time. It will load automatically. We really need not to give on our own. Still it is resolving the values. See, automatically it was populated. The service is calculator service. So once you provided the service, your port and address is also going to populate automatically. I'm taking calculator. So 1 2. Right. So your address is also populated automatically. Done. So once you provided the SOAP-based web service endpoint URL, then this particular SOAP service is exposed for different operations called add, divide, multiply, and subtract. So my intention is to invoke add operation. So select the add operation, save. Right. So this is my HTTP listener is going to take initial request and it is going to invoke this particular web service consumer. But this service consumer is expecting XML. See, if you look at this input section, this is expecting always XML as a input. But I don't have the XML as an input, right? Okay, now I'm interested in reading the values from the user HTTP GET request. Suppose example, I'm going to take a variable, set variable. I'm going to store user entered value in number 1. So this is a flow variable. I would like to read the first value, attributes dot. This is my HTTP query params dot assume dot n1. I'm going to enter the value in n1. I'm going to take one more variable. This is going to be my number 2, which is entered by the user in the query parameter section, and attributes dot query params dot n2. So these values are entered by the user, right? User is sending HTTP GET request. Now I would like to transform this user HTTP GET request into SOAP based payload related HTTP XML payload format. Okay. So now I would like to take the help of transform message. Simply drag and drop your transform message. Okay. So your left hand side HTTP GET request query parameters are there. In your right side, your web service consumer is there. So we need to map, or we need to transform this GET request to its equivalent, a post mapping that we need to do. Okay. If you click on your transform message, right? Okay. So the output is going to be generate XML. So simply I have two variables, right? Drag and drop, map with variable 1 and map with variable 2. So automatically this particular section is populated. This is called as data weaving, right? So all we need to do is your HTTP GET request query parameters are equivalent to this particular value. Internally, Mule is going to construct the SOAP payload for you. Okay. And we'll try to run this example and look at the how we are going to receive the output and what is the next thing that we can operate on this. I'm running this example. Okay. SOAP/add is my end path. I'm going to trigger. We look at how we are going to. Okay, this application is deployed now. We'll try to look at how we are going to see the output. So now I'm going to send HTTP GET request 8081/soap/add. I'm going to send two query parameters in n1, that is 10, and n2 is equal to some 45. Try to send the request. See, if you observe the output, right, you are not sending an HTTP post, even though you are accessing a SOAP-based web service. If you clearly look at, right, you are sending a HTTP GET request and you are receiving, but you are receiving the output, right? It is to some extent okay. If you clearly observe, this particular section is what your response is, right? It is giving the response, but I don't want this entire response. I want only this particular add result in the form of a JSON. You are sending HTTP GET request. Your mule is transforming your HTTP GET request into SOAP related payload format. I mean the XML format. It is triggered your web service, get the data and displaying in this particular format, right? So again, if you want to extract few fields, like example result section, if you want to extract, you can still, or you want to apply a one more transformation on top of the response. We'll see how to transform. So I'm receiving the response, whatever the response we are getting here, and automatically it is displaying as it is, right? So that is the reason we are going to seeing this particular output, the body section and this, that, and everything. So I would like to filter out to get more granular information, like, okay, I'm transforming this particular output one more time. So I don't want to Java, I want the output in the form of a JSON, right? Okay. So I have the payload. If you closely observe this particular section, so we have a, I mean, whatever the response which is written by your SOAP service, which is held in your payload section. So now, suppose example, I would like to display as result colon payload dot body dot add response dot simple. Till this particular portion is pretty much enough. Body dot add response dot add result. Now look at the output. Save this guy. You really need not to rerun your application from the scratch. So I changed this particular data weaving script, and now look at the, oh, see, you are seeing this output in the form of a JSON. You are sending HTTP GET request. Internally, Mule is invoking the SOAP service. Whatever the response that you are receiving in the form of an XML, that is also transformed with the help of your Mule, and simplified output will be displayed here. This is how you are going to consume a SOAP based web service, and you are going to apply the transformation. Even in your big examples, like typically if you consider any banking and financial domain or insurance typical domains, right? So where still people are using a SOAP based web services, right? If they want to migrate, it might be a difficult task, but still you want to run your business in SOAP based world, right? But the customer is wanted a lightweight data format like JSON or text format. So in that case, you can leverage or you can use this concept, the transformation, or you can use an ESBs in front of your system APIs, and applying the transformation, you can transform your heavyweight payload in the form of an XML payloads. You can just simply transform into a lightweight data formats in the form of a JSON, right? So this example is showing how we are going to consume a SOAP based web service and how we are going to apply the transformation on top of your XML payload. Thank you.